video that is trending. There's a video that is trending between Helen Zille and ANELE MDODA from the radio station 947, if I'm not mistaken. And this video, I saw it trending on social media, and it was just a very short clip. And I said, I need to see what was going on. What is the context of this whole video? And this video left a lot of people divided. Some people were saying that ANELE MDODA was disrespectful or was unprofessional, and some were saying that Helen Zille was dodging questions that ANELE MDODA was asking. And I found this video, and I want to actually react with you guys, react to this video with you guys. But before we get into it, where are my manners? Dumela Kasi, welcome back to the cafe. If you're new here, welcome, and if you are returning, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. Don't be alarmed, I'm using my mirrorless camera right now to take this video. I have been trying to do this introduction for a couple of times now, and I found out that the camera was not really focused, and now the battery is flickering. But anyway, we're just going to get into this video because I have already reacted to the whole video, and I hope you're gonna enjoy it as much as I enjoyed reacting to it. So without wasting any more time, make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure that you comment down below with your own thoughts. We might not be the same. We might differ from the opinions that we have regarding this interview, but please do share your own opinions down below on my comment sections and like this video. It helps a lot. Let's get into this mess.
Look, it's a convincing announcement there from
I hope I'm not getting copyrighted over there.
the DA. In studio, we've got Helen Zille. Thank you so much for your time, Helen Zille.
Thank you, Anele. Sorry about the Joburg traffic. Otherwise, I would have been here a bit early.
Is that one of the things you're going to fix?
No. I can't fix the Joburg traffic unless we fix public transport, and that is a big, big challenge.
So you've held so many leadership positions.
The fact that Helen Zille, she can answer on a spot. You can tell that she was really a journalist. So from when she said, I cannot fix the actual traffic, but I can fix the transport system in Joburg, which is a problem in Joburg.
And I think the one that lives closely to what you are running towards now is the fact that you were mayor in Cape Town and you won an award for World Mayor of the Year in 2008. It's something people don't speak about.
That's wild.
Often. Are you the head of your WhatsApp group as well in your neighborhood, the Neighborhood Watch? Because any leadership position for you is good to go.
Well, I'm always around to try and make a difference to where I live, where I work, and the country that I was blessed to be born in.
So where do you live?
I live in Pinelands, in Cape Town currently, and I'm going to be living in Emmarentia, Johannesburg.
Before we get into all of it, firstly, I want to say Pinelands. Pinelands is your basic suburb in Cape Town. It's not really the elite suburb. And that's sometimes what I like about politicians who are really for people, and they are not for making sure that people see that they live high lives. And I wouldn't say that about a lot of ANC people. A lot of ANC people are actually living in elite suburban areas in Cape Town, like your Constantia, your Camps Bay, Landadno, all those areas. But Helen Zille, who is one of the big names in South Africa, is living in Pinelands. Like Pinelands, honestly.
Spoke from very soon.
Okay, because that's what the thing I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
That you can't run for mayor of Johannesburg if you're not living in Johannesburg.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
You have lived in Johannesburg before.
Oh,
so
yes,
this
I
is
was
not
born
something...
in Johannesburg. I was raised in Johannesburg. I schooled in Johannesburg. I went to university in Johannesburg. I worked in Johannesburg. I know this place.
I mean, Helen, we're not going to sit here and act like you're not good enough for the job, right? We know that you're good enough for the job, but I think there are politics in you getting the job as mayor of Johannesburg because of how Cape Town is currently run. Certain areas in Cape Town are run fantastically well. When world class doesn't begin to describe how well those areas are run, but there's some that aren't, right? And Cape Town works well because there's segregation, and that's why it's easy to run it like that. Johannesburg isn't segregated. How are you going to manage that?
You make a very bold statement about Cape Town being segregated. I live in a suburb that is totally integrated, completely integrated.
Yes, that's 1 or 2 suburbs, but you
Not
have
1 or 2 suburbs. I mean, absolutely everywhere. When people get a job and can earn an income, they can go.
Well, I want to say something about this one. ANELE makes a statement that Cape Town is segregated, right? And obviously by saying that, she says that Cape Town has places whereby only white people are living in those areas, and then there are places whereby only black people are living in those areas, and many other brown-skinned people or black people or coloreds or Indians and all of those things. And it's very stupid to say that. It is very stupid to say that. There are areas in Cape Town that are so unaffordable to the point that only few people live there. And in most cases, the people that are living there or people that are buying those areas are not even South Africans. In Johannesburg, in Sandton, people from Alex are not living in Sandton. So if you're going to make a statement that says that there are other places that are well run and other places are not, why are you asking Helen that? Why are you not asking also the other parties like the ANC and stuff like that? I mean, Johannesburg and Gauteng is not run by the DA. It is the ANC. And the people who are living in Alex, a lot of them cannot afford to live in Sandton. And Sandton doesn't look like Alexandra. Sandton looks more well maintained than Alexandra. So this is not a problem of anything but the problem of our current government that has been the government since 1994.
And live where they can afford to live.
afford.
Well, of course, all of us live where we can afford to live. I would love to live in Camps Bay. I can't afford to live in
But that's
Camps
why
Bay.
Cape Town is segregated, because it is made difficult for
The whole country is segregated, ANELE. Don't be stupid. You are too smart for this one. The whole country is segregated. Not everyone is able to live in Camps Bay. It doesn't matter your skin color. There's a lot of black people who are living in Constantia, Landadno, Camps Bay. I can name a lot of these very expensive places in Cape Town. There are a lot of black people who are living there. This mentality of being a victim all the time is just so annoying, to the point that it goes to these celebrities who are trying to score some points. It doesn't make sense to me. It's not even a question that she should have asked. She should have prepared to ask better questions than the question that she's asking. There's a lot of people who are living in the suburban area that I am in right now, and it is a fairly affordable suburban area for everybody to live in. And you don't see politicians that are living in the suburban area that I'm in. The only person that is well known that lived here where I am is the Tutus, the Desmond Tutu. Their house is still there. The family is still owning their house. That is the only person. Ramaphosa doesn't own a house here. The previous presidents don't own houses here in this area, but they own houses where in the rich and elite areas like your Constantia, where you get millions and millions and millions, one house that costs millions and millions, right? Let's continue.
for people who are from Gugulethu and Langa and Khayelitsha to then move into the suburbs. You can't tell me Cape Town is not segregated.
I mean, are people from Alexandra, Orange Farm or whatever who cannot afford to live in Sandton, are they going there and live in Sandton because Gauteng is not segregated? ANELE is stupid over here. Like, I'm so like it's so the questions that she's asking are stupid. ANELE is from a very well-off family. She lived in these areas where his dad, or rather her dad, afforded these places because her dad is moneyed. They've got money. she is not talking on behalf of anyone who lives in Gugulethu or Nyanga or Langa, whatever. She's not speaking about those people or on behalf of those people, because she knows nothing about their struggles. She hears about their struggles, but she knows nothing about those struggles. Imagine your whole sentence is saying that people from Gugulethu and stuff like that, they cannot afford to live in Camps Bay. Definitely they cannot live in Camps Bay. That's why they live in Gugulethu. The people in Orange Farm cannot live in Sandton because they cannot afford to live in Sandton. What kind of a question is this?
With a flat face.
You can't tell me that Joburg isn't segregated with a flat face. I mean, I'm here in the middle of Sandton. This is some of the most expensive properties. But let me explain to you a little bit of the facts of Cape Town. Cape Town has been well run for 20 years. When a place is well run and gets reliable services and the politicians are honest and they don't steal the money, then many businesses relocate to Cape Town and many people relocate to Cape Town. And while hundreds of thousands of very poor people also relocate to Cape Town because they want a better life, Cape Town is lucky enough to have very many people who can invest money, who can start businesses, and who can create jobs also coming to Cape Town. Those people are running away from Johannesburg. When people who have capital and skills come to a city, obviously property prices increase because there's a lot of competition for those properties. But also in that kind of context,
I just want to say something
people
here. Yeah, that's entirely true. Yes, we are so freaked out in Cape Town. We are so done with the fact that the people from Cape Town cannot afford anything. Cape Town is way too expensive because of the people that are coming into the country with their own money from the United States, from Europe, from all over these rich countries, and they make it difficult for people in the country that have got nothing compared to what they have. It's a nightmare. Trust me on that one. It's a nightmare. It's something that I don't like about Cape Town, that Cape Town is so way too expensive. But economically, if ANELE went and do her research why Cape Town is this expensive, she was not going to be even asking questions like this one. Cape Town is bound to be expensive. For example, Port Louis in Mauritius is one of the expensive places as well. Port Louis is expensive. Actually, Mauritius, the whole Mauritius is expensive because of too many tourists and people that are from foreign countries with a lot of money that they can afford to buy houses there. Then the whole country decides to fluctuate their own prices, whether it is food, whether it is houses, and all of those things. Economically, you have to do that because of the demand. Didn't she do something like that, like in primary school or something?
Pay very high rates so that we can offer the most generous by far, free basic services package to the very poor in the city of Cape Town.
Okay, so in there you say you're running away to Joburg, running away to Cape Town and all of that. One of the other reasons that your mayoral candidacy is under
scrutiny.
Yeah, scrutiny. The Star this morning on the headline, they said your campaign is controversial, is because you called black people who are going to Cape Town refugees. Once again, in Johannesburg, I don't think that's something that can just easily fly because, we're all refugees.
I don't know if I'm wrong here. The time that Helen Zille said refugees from the Eastern Cape, she did not say black people are refugees. She said people coming from the Eastern Cape are refugees. And I can tell you right now, not only black people who came into Cape Town or relocated to Cape Town are black people. There's a lot of people of different ethnic groups that decided to take everything and come to Cape Town and live in Cape Town. So because as we are black people and we like to be victims, we're going to say, okay, this is a problem. If you're going to call people who ran away from the countries refugees, and it's okay for you to say that people coming from the DRC are refugees, what is so taboo to call people coming from the Eastern Cape to the Western Cape and call them refugees? What is so insulting about that? What is so insulting about that? I mean, even the leader of who's this guy? I forgot his name. He's on the news at the moment. From the coloured political party here in Cape Town. They called that the Eastern Cape people are coming into the Western Cape in numbers, and obviously they taking their jobs and all of those things. All those things, all those things. They call them the refugees. They call them immigrants from the Eastern Cape. What is an insult there? Is it okay when someone else who is not white, who would say that, than a white person saying it? Is it an insult to be a refugee? Like, make it make sense. Yes, I understand someone would say that it is an insult, especially coming from a white person who was maybe benefiting from the apartheid, and during apartheid, people were not allowed in certain areas. At the moment in Cape Town, I've never heard of any place where black people are not allowed. Yes, there are businesses that were caught because they did not want black people to come into. You will get those people, but there is no place in Cape Town or the Western Cape that doesn't allow black people to come into those places. There isn't. So if you're going to have a mentality that says that during apartheid we were not allowed to live in these areas and that all and all of those things, it doesn't make sense. We need to walk away from the mentality of being victims each and every single time. We are no longer victims. Yes, actually, we are victims of a black-ruled political party, the ANC. We are all the victims of the ANC.
In Johannesburg, because none of us are from here. So when you've made statements like that in the past, do you realize that they can be detrimental to what you want now?
Let me tell you that I'm a refugee, and my parents were refugees. They came here because their lives were threatened and half my family was murdered. And that is why they were refugees in South Africa. There is absolutely no blame on a refugee for being a refugee.
But in the context of what you were saying,
the blame is on the circumstances that forced them to become a refugee. Now, the truth is that many, many people come to Cape Town because they are escaping the situation in which they live. In the Eastern Cape, hundreds of thousands of people leave for Cape Town because they want a school that works, because they want a clinic that works, because they want a chance to get a job, because they want clean water, because they want reliable electricity, because they want connectivity. And refugee is a word that you use everywhere in the world. It is not pejorative to say you are going away from something.
It is, though, when because you were referring to the black people in the Eastern Cape who've gone to Cape Town, because much like that, you can't say they just went to Western Cape. They also come to Johannesburg. My question to you is, now you want to come and be the mayor of Johannesburg, but if you are looking at black people who are coming to Johannesburg, who are here living in Johannesburg, that are not here as refugees, that's not the person you want in charge.
Why do black people hate refugees so much?
You can't ask them why we're offended by something. If it offends them, it offends them. That's not the debate here. The debate is, you didn't call the white people in Cape Town who are not from Western Cape refugees. But in that moment when you said it, you didn't.
I'm a refugee.
So do you regret the way that came out? Would you like to change that statement?
Well, the truth is that anybody who wants to create
Why is ANELE so fixated in trying to make Helen Zille change what she said? I mean, yeah, you said people are refugees, okay. What are you going to do to change that? Does it have anything to do with what the people would want Joburg to look like? Because Joburg is in shambles, guys. We cannot run away from that. We cannot run away from that. And I, on my side, personally, I feel like Helen Zille might turn around the clock, even though it's not going to be easy because there will be a lot of sabotage. But I feel like she might change that in Johannesburg. And it will be stupid for people to re-elect the ANC to do the same thing that they are doing in Johannesburg. But anyway,
a
better life for themselves.
No. Anybody who wants to create offense and manufacture outrage will pick one word that isn't offensive and build it up as if it causes moral outrage. What I'm saying is the circumstances in the Eastern Cape are a total disgrace. The circumstances in Johannesburg are a total disgrace. I would call myself...
Some of the places in Cape Town are also a total disgrace.
Well, you tell me which places haven't got water, which places haven't got electricity, which places haven't got refuse removal, which places have not got
safety.
Before we get into, she mentioned safety. Before we get into anything, I want to say something about what Helen Zille is saying about refuge, and I think we spoke about it on this channel before, that the DA does deliver in Cape Town. The city of Cape Town delivers in Cape Town. I was in Khayelitsha this past weekend, and when I was driving through Khayelitsha, I saw a lot of roads. They're building roads in these areas that people are saying that they are not well taken care of. Go to the Eastern Cape right now. I'm going to the Eastern Cape soon. Go to the Eastern Cape and the towns, the roads, the potholes. Go to the Johannesburg. It takes forever to fix one little pothole, or it doesn't get fixed at all. It took forever for Johannesburg to fix traffic lights, if they are still working today, because I don't think they are working. So what is so difficult for ANELE to understand how things work in Cape Town? The only time she comes in Cape Town, she doesn't go to the townships. There's water there. There's sewage system. Where I come from, there isn't. And a lot of places that I've been, there isn't. And that is ANC. Why is it Helen Zille's responsibility to actually explain what is going on in these townships? Why don't you, as a black person who is trying to say they are fighting for black person, go to these places and understand them? I know Cape Town and its own township like the palm of my hand. I've been there, and I've always said that people, yes, are complaining about things are not right in Cape Town. There's areas that are not right, and no one is saying you must go and occupy land. If you're going to occupy land and you think that things will go like this, then you are shooting yourself on the feet. Because if you're going to go and build a structure, the government must fund. The government must allocate money before you get all this, those things like sewage system and all of those things. So if you are in the informal settlement and you don't have those things yet, that means somewhere, somehow it will come. But you shot yourself in the foot by taking land forcefully and build your own structures. And you think that the city of Cape Town will jump. And most of these areas that ANELE is talking about are areas that are actually under the ANC. Most of them are under the ANC because people vote for ANC there. They don't have guts. ANELE doesn't have guts to say that the ANC, the people that are supposed to be actually this anger directed to in these areas, it's not directed to them. They direct it to the political party that is heading the whole province, which doesn't have anything to do with them. They must fight their own councillors who are ANC councillors before they can do anything. And this is what ANELE should do as well. Should open this first.
Well,
gangs, crime.
Absolutely. Safety gangs.
She's talking about crime, gangs, and all of those things. What must the city of Cape Town do about it? Does ANELE understand that SAPS is nationally? SAPS is not controlled by the city of Cape Town. SAPS is not controlled by Western Cape. SAPS is controlled by our government. And for years and years, SAPS has been underfunded. SAPS doesn't have enough resources, not enough police. The ANC allowed the country, the crime to be as it is right now. Not the DA. I am not the DA, and I'm not fighting for the DA, and no one is paying me for me to talk about it. We have been saying this. My problem is the people who are on radio, they think they know better, and they don't know. ANELE did not do her own research. She knows nothing. And to think of her own dad is a very well-respected man. And her own dad is very well known and well, I cannot even explain. He knows a lot because he does business with the government and all of those things as well. Or he did, or he has connections with the government. That's what I'm trying to say. So the only thing that she was supposed to do is to ask her dad about the information that she would want to ask Helen Zille, not what she's asking right now. What does the DA has to do with the crime in Cape Town? What must they do about it if the SAPS cannot do anything about it? Because they are not controlling SAPS. They are not controlling them. ANELE should know that by now. She's not a kid.
Crime. That's why we're going to fight to the Constitutional Court to get policing powers for the city of Cape Town. The national government can't run policing. It's totally corrupt. Kwanazi told us. The Madlanga Commission is listening to the evidence. It is riddled with corruption from criminal syndicates. That's why we want to control policing. The police are too controlled by the gangs themselves, by the drug dealers themselves. That's why we want to control policing. And we're going to fight till the Constitutional Court to get that power.
You see, the issue at hand is that, once again, there are areas in Cape Town where what you're saying, you're absolutely correct, and there's proof of it. But the areas in Cape Town that are not, and the optics are, the areas in Cape Town that are not are the areas that are people of color. Right?
Well,
so what it looks like is that, yes, you do know how to run, municipalities.
You're pretending, ANELE, you're pretending that there are places all over South Africa that are poor, that are not people of color. The tragedy is, with the legacy of the past, in Johannesburg, there are ghastly, ghastly areas. Drive through Alexandra and see what it looks like. It is an absolute bloody disgrace. Drive through Alexandra and see what it looks like. Those are people of color. If you go to any ANC-run municipality, people of color are worse off than they are in any DA municipality. And that's a fact.
So
and even the president knows that.
Yeah, so what you're saying then is, the DA is bad, but not as bad as the ANC, and that's why we should vote for you.
No. The DA faces the legacy of the past. It raises a huge amount of money from the better off suburbs and cross-subsidizes to give the poor the best free basic service package in the country. It spends billions investing in infrastructure for the poor.
As to that, the municipal rates in Cape Town, they are ridiculous. And you go to the township and then you see how they actually waste water. Then you ask yourself, why are we paying so much money when people are doing that, when they are not paying so much money for that water? And they are not paying for the water actually. If you go to informal settlement, they have taps and they are not paying for water. And on top of that, they are not even paying for electricity, most of them, because they have done things to their electricity, and they also steal electricity from the transformers and all of those things. And then you get ANELE, who's talking about things that she doesn't understand. She doesn't understand the concept, and she doesn't understand what she's supposed to ask, actually.
But let me tell you something else, ANELE. No government anywhere ever is going to put you in a 3-bedroom house in a garage. What government does is provide you water, electricity, sewage, refuse removal, a school, and a clinic. And then people have to use that as a platform to get themselves out of poverty. Ask people what they are doing. How many fathers are sitting with their children, investing in those children, being role models for their children, and how many are being absent fathers? What is their responsibility? How many parents are being role models for their children, or how many are taking drugs and drinking alcohol? This is a partnership. The government provides the ladder. The parents have to hold the ladder, and the children have to climb up the ladder.
I don't dispute that.
That's correct. That is correct. the people believe that government should do everything for them. Like, you shouldn't do anything. You should be getting salary from the government and do nothing. And the government is giving these 350 rands right now. And those 350 rands that the government is giving you makes people to be even more dependent on government. And when they are dependent on government, they will keep on voting the same government over and over because they are getting these things for free from government. The government that you voted for doesn't want you to work. They don't want you to get out of poverty. That's why they make sure that they give you all these things for free without you working for them, because they don't want you to be woke enough to say, no, we don't want 350 rands. We want to go to work.
And you're right, everything you said, but I just feel like if you're using Cape Town as an example, it is just provided better to other areas than other areas.
Absolutely not. We provide much, much better to the poor than we do to the rich.
Anele and I were having this discussion, Helen, because you know what happens, and to the point of the discussion you guys were having, it's impossible for us as residents to draw distinctions between what is the municipality, what is local government, what is provincial government, and what is
Surely
national
you understand
government.
some basics.
No,
Frankie,
I
please.
understand the basics, but the point is that what happens to us is we complain, and we'll use the example of traffic lights. We'll complain about traffic lights. The JRA will say that this road belongs to them, that road belongs to provincial
That's provincial government. It's tossed from pillar to post.
That's exactly what happens. You know, you were mentioning clinics. How many clinics belong to the municipality versus the province versus national government?
Well, all I can say is that when I am mayor of Joburg, we will focus on the things that Joburg can run and fix them.
Is it possible, though, Helen, given the comparisons that we've made between Sandton, Alexandra?
It's very, very good at what he does. I hope he's going to ask something tangible.
Camps Bay Nyanga, to provide the same level of satisfaction from a city and services point of view to people in those two realities, because they exist now?
Well, it depends what people think the city can deliver. The city built none of those homes in Camps Bay, and the city has built none of the homes in Sandton. That is all private sector investment and all individual investment. It's got nothing to do with the city. The city's job is to provide water, electricity, roads, refuse removal, sewerage, some of the clinics. We don't do schools from the city. That is the provincial mandate. We don't do major hospitals from the city. That is also a provincial mandate. But if you are getting those things, the city is working for you. After that, people who advance in life concentrate on their education. You know what the most important thing in life is when you're born? You have to be born safely in a clinic where you don't get damaged at birth. Then you need two absolutely committed parents who will sacrifice everything for you, who will make sure that you go to a pre-primary school that has to be there, of course, that you ensure that you get all of the pre-primary education you need. You go to a state school that should be well run, that should be delivering you good education, that your parents make sure you do your homework every single day, that you go through the system without getting pregnant. And that's your responsibility and your parents' responsibility.
Well,
without going on to drugs.
You're getting lofty.
No, I'm not getting lofty.
You are getting lofty.
I am
All
talking
of this
about
is
a
ideal.
partner. It's not ideal.
No,
it's real.
All lofty. But no, we're
It's
talking granular
real.
things. The fact that you even like two parents. No, come on, man. You can't guarantee anybody two parents, right? Just stand by. Here's a voice note.
Good morning. My question will be for Helen Zille. What will she do for the Johannesburg water problem that's constantly
Well, first of all, the water and electricity crisis didn't come overnight. It came from 30 years of zero maintenance. And I must say, Anele, with great respect, your callers are asking much more sensible questions than you are. Because
Exactly what I was talking about, that Anele is asking senseless questions. Senseless.
they're asking the granular questions that have something to do with local government. Now, the first thing people need is water. You can forget about all the other highfalutin stuff. They need water. And when people don't have water because the government has never maintained the infrastructure or invested in new infrastructure, you're going to be without water. Now, we'll have to fix it bit by bit. Let's take the Hurst Hill Reservoir. There's plenty of water in the Vaal Dam. There's plenty of water that's come from the heavens, but you can't pump it into the Hurst Hill Reservoir because there's a big crack in it because it's never been maintained over 30 years. And the pipes are all broken. The city of Johannesburg has replaced 17 kilometers of pipe in a year. Do you know how little that is? Cape Town does over 200 a year and has been doing over 200 since 2006. And over 20 years, that adds up to a lot. And Cape Town has one of the lowest wastages of water in the world.
You're
One
right.
of the lowest. Joburg loses 46% of its water, almost 50%.
Cape Town is a great example
Yes.
of a well-run.
So that is
what
what
about
a local
Tshwane
government
and
has
what
to
about
do.
Nelson Mandela Bay? Are they as well-run as Cape Town?
Of course not, because it hasn't had the DA government for 20 years. That's the point.
So you're saying that
When you've had the DA government for 20
No,
years,
Helen.
you have a good place. I'm telling you the truth. You can say, oh, Helen, all you like, because I'm not playing your ideological games here. I'm talking about service delivery on the ground, which is what local government is about.
okay,
Bottom line. And to answer I'm answering still your callers, because they're asking the good questions here.
you don't have to insult us into like
You're insulting
into putting
me,
us back.
I will
No,
insult
we're
you.
asking you good questions. We didn't insult you once. We're asking you good
I
questions.
want to tell
you don't
you,
have to get
if you
defensive.
want- I'm
you don't
not
have to get.
defensive,
You
I'm on the
are.
attack.
You
I'm on the
are.
attack.
Because the first insult
I'm
here
on
that
the
was
attack.
thrown was that none of us in this studio are asking good questions.
Well, you
You
aren't.
don't have to.
That's a fact.
This is going to be a
You don't have to
partnership.
be insulted
You
by the
don't have- This
facts.
is going to be a partnership. We run Joburg as well as you are going to.
You
People
run
listen-
Joburg.
Yes, we do. We come
run
here.
your studio.
Yes, that's what we're doing, Helen. If you win, we're going to be in a partnership because this is the platform that you are going to use to communicate a lot of times. So you don't have to come and insult us. Just you can don't be snarky about it. Still answer.
Let
No
me
one here
tell
was
you,
snarky.
if
We
you
welcomed you
insult
in,
me,
and we're great.
I will give as good as I get, and you have to understand
When did
that.
we insult you, my
With
dear?
every single sideswipe question.
Anele must learn to control her emotions. She is definitely not emotionally intelligent. Not at all. She is the interviewer. She must try to drag the person that she's interviewing down. Like if the politician is going all nuts, you must be able to drag them down. You must be able to lower them. If you're going to be in the same level as them, then how are you going to be? How are you an interviewer in the first place? Why are you interviewing them if you are not emotionally intelligent? Why are you getting emotional? Helen is getting emotional, and now you are getting emotional as well. Like, honestly.
No, we asked
Right.
you questions.
Let me
various
answer your
questions.
listeners. No one's interested
Super
in
flustered.
you here.
But
They're
you
interested
came
in the
here,
answers to my questions.
Helen, you came
I can also
here.
leave.
Okay,
but I
you
want to answer your
can.
listeners. Okay. Now I'm going to answer your listeners. We will start a maintenance program. We will start by switching a lot of the operational budget into maintenance.
It just passed me right now. Listen to this one here.
Okay,
If
we
you
welcomed you
insult
in,
me,
and we're great.
I will give as good as I get, and you have to understand
When
that.
did we insult you, my
With
dear?
every single
When did he insult you, my dear? That is so childish. It's so unprofessional. Very unprofessional.
sideswipe question.
No, we asked
Right.
you questions.
Let me
various
answer your
questions.
listeners. No one's interested
Super
in
flustered.
you here.
But
They're
you
interested
came
in the
here,
answers to my questions.
Helen, you came
I can also
here.
leave.
Okay,
but I
you
want to
can.
answer.
I'll also leave. Helen says that. Okay, you can. Why is she not able to try to lower the situation? Why are you not able as a radio personality? She's a good radio personality for that. She's doing very well in radio. Anele is good when it comes to radio, but she doesn't have the mental capacity to be in a debate with someone. This debate, she has to control it because she is the interviewer. Like, she doesn't know. No mental intelligence. No, absolutely no mental intelligence.
To your listeners. Okay. Now I'm going to answer your listeners. We will start a maintenance program. We will start by switching a lot of the operational budget into maintenance. Johannesburg spends less on maintenance than any other city in the country. And that is a disgrace. And that is why the poor are suffering, because there's been no new investment in capital infrastructure and there has been no maintenance. And that is a disgrace because all the money has been siphoned off, given to cadres, turned Joburg into an employment creation hub for the ANC and its own cadres. And that is exactly why you're sitting in this problem. We can't fix it overnight. We will have a maintenance plan. We will inform you of what the maintenance plan is. We will deliver on that maintenance plan. And we will do so with experts, not deployed cadres who want to steal the money to build houses in Waterfall and to do all the other things instead of looking after people in poor areas.
Okay, so once again, then it will be a corruption thing that you're getting rid of. Let's say you are found to be involved in corruption things like the Zille spook tenders. How do we approach that? Because you already said that that's not the vibe that you're going to go on.
That question is just stupid. Let's say you are corrupt. Can you ask other questions that are more suitable for the conversation than asking for things that are not there yet?
But it has come up. Once again, my question to you is, it just sounds like you're saying the DA is corrupt, but we're not as corrupt as the ANC. So how do you work around that when there is some sort of trail that there has been corruption in the DA?
That is hilarious, ANELE. You say you're not insulting me. That is an extremely insulting thing
Guys, was
to
that
say.
an insult?
It is a deep insult to say that the DA is corrupt and that I'm corrupt.
No,
a deep insult.
But okay, the Zille spook tender files
Helen,
did
just-
present corruption.
Can I just say, ANELE never called you corrupt.
She says, what about the Zille corruption? So let me now answer
Zille
her question.
spook
frankly.
tender? No, I didn't say the Zille corruption.
What is the Zille
Not-
spook tender?
Kaloku, there was also allegations of corruption under you. So I'm saying, if that is found, because you are saying the reason you're going to be able to
I'd
run
love to hear corruption under
Johannesburg.
me. I'd love to hear corruption
Yes,
under me.
but that's what I'm saying, that you are
Give me
saying that the
evidence.
reason that
Give me
Johannesburg
evidence.
is not run well is because that you're right, the money does disappear. That's something you and I both agree on. But I'm saying that there are allegations of corruption within the DA.
Examples?
So would you
Examples?
Nancy, this book files the 10 is on.
Which book? Give me examples, please.
Helen, is there anything else you'd like to say before?
She is. She cannot even give the examples. There's no evidence, and allegations, yes, but where's the evidence? You cannot have allegations, but if we talk about the ANC, for example, there are a lot of evidence that there is corruption within ANC. Obviously, you can see that there are people that were charged and convicted because of corruption in the ANC. But she cannot give the allegations, the backbone. Where are the actual, where's the evidence? We understand there's a lot of actual corruption that is happening. Even within the DA, there is corruption that is happening. But obviously, as she says, it's not happening as in the ANC. But she has to back it up with evidence. She now draws out of the conversation because she cannot back it up with evidence. She draws out of the actual... ANELE, gosh.
Before we make sure that every single time that you are here campaigning, we want to hear from you.
If you ask me a question and make an allegation, you have to substantiate it. Simple.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. There were allegations. So what I'm saying to you is...
Allegations
if
is not proof.
If there is found to be corruption within the DA, right?
Yeah.
That means that you can't do what you're saying that you are going to do.
Okay, let me give you an answer to that question, ANELE. The bottom line answer to that question is you don't survive in the DA if you are corrupt. You are chopped off immediately at the neck. In the ANC, you can't survive if you're not corrupt because everybody's corrupt. So the minute someone like Babita Deokaran is not corrupt, they have to take her out. So in the ANC, you can't survive if you're not corrupt. In the DA, you can't survive if you are corrupt.
Can you survive in the DA if you're racist?
Certainly not. We're the most non-racial party there is, and we are completely judging people on their value as human beings and not the color of their skin.
Because I think that'll be your biggest
She's
obstacle.
now jumped to racism. All her questions are so engraved in some victimhood and trying to be popular online, especially on X. And this is all some kind of an acting for her. She wants to be the fighter of black people online.
in getting to mayor. Once again, I led this conversation with the fact that you are very qualified to run and be mayor. I do not for a second doubt that. I just think that as a person who is living in Johannesburg, as a black person who lives in Johannesburg, black people struggle to see you wanting to forward them, right?
Black people who don't want to see, who maybe think that Helen Zille is not going to be a suited candidate for black people or that will assist black people to prosper. Those people that think like that means they will vote for something else. They must vote for something else. But in a nutshell, if you don't vote for a certain thing, you vote for something else. And they have been voting for the same thing over and over, which is the ANC. But they have been complaining over and over each and every single year. They have been complaining. And that will happen all the time if they don't change their minds and vote for something else. And the track record has proven that Helen Zille is one of the top contenders that would probably change the situation in Johannesburg. Who else do you have in mind except Herman Mashaba? Because Herman Mashaba could change the situation in Johannesburg. But Helen Zille at the moment is one of those people that I see them changing the situation in Johannesburg as long as she's not sabotaged.
That's what it comes across as.
ANELE, when were you elected as the spokesperson of all black people? You weren't. How can you speak for black people? I can't speak for white people.
Helen, you
I
are
am not
on
a
Twitter every day. You see what people say about you, babe. You see it. People do not trust you to...
Babe. How can you call an old lady like that babe? Professional. As a professional.
Have the interests of black people at heart. Please don't come here and want to like...
Twitter is not the voters' role.
You are everywhere.
Twitter is not the voters' role.
You
that
are
is
everywhere.
the first thing you have to... ANELE,
Okay, Tembekile,
you don't speak for black people. I don't speak for white people. I
speak
judge
for
you
the DA.
as an individual, and I want people to judge me as an individual.
Okay.
I bet I did more to fight apartheid than everybody sitting in the studio today.
and so did the people that
absolutely
are now
did.
currently running it into the ground as well. So...
Well, some of them. But no one who loves South Africa will steal its money and run it into the ground. No one.
Okay.
And I have no time for people who claim struggle credentials, get into power and steal the people blind.
Okay.
None at all.
Thank you for your time. We are so late for news. We apologize.
I am so sorry. I would love to answer some serious questions from your listeners instead of arguing with you.
Next
But it's
time.
been fine.
Next time when you are on time, you can answer some serious questions from our listeners.
Next time, when you are on time, you can ask serious questions to our listeners. That's ANELE signing out. And she thinks that she ate it. She ate it. And obviously, Helen Zille said as well that next time your listeners should ask like proper questions. And that's what I felt. The questions were just stupid from ANELE on her side. She was pushing around. She didn't know what she was asking. She asked about things that you can literally hear that she did not research at all. Where is the research, ANELE? Where is the research? We need the research next time when you do such things with people who actually speaks about changing other people's lives. Like, I would say my life changed when I came to Cape Town, and I don't see my life the way it is right now if I went to any other province or any other city in the country. I feel like my life changed to the better when I came to Cape Town, and when I leave Cape Town, I will totally be grateful that Cape Town gave me the life that I have today. And ANELE, the same ANELE who comes from the Eastern Cape that is not working for anyone. That's why she's in Joburg. The Eastern Cape that is ruled by black people. The same black people, obviously, that were fighting for apartheid, some of them. You know what? Let me leave it here. Let me not even drag it away and drag it way too far. Please do comment down below with your own thoughts. Please like this video. It helps a lot. And subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'll see you on my next upload. Have a fantastic one.